Pac-12 TV deal. So I was watching some 365 sports, as I'm known to do, and I saw Jason Scheer on there, who I've grown to like. Jason Scheer, 24/7 Sports, covers Arizona, will be a Big 12 writer very soon. Wink, wink. I mean, it's coming, right? I feel like we all have accepted that Arizona is going to be in this conference. And what he has deduced from his source, Jason Scheer, that is, oh boy, is that when the Pac-12 meets with the remaining member institutions, the 4 of them, and presents a TV deal, it is going to be laughed at. Oregon and Washington are going to see it, and it's going to be laughed at. They're going to jump ship immediately. I don't know if there's been a time in history where someone has called a board of directors meeting or a trustees meeting just to push the trustees away or ensure the death of something. That's why Kliavkoff has pushed this thing off so long, right? He has tried to make sure that, it's coming, the TV deal's coming, and the more we wait, the better it gets, which makes no sense, by the way. And now what Scheer has deduced from his sources is that each team will make around $20 million. Do you understand how little money that is in college athletics? $20 million. It's dumbfounding that it almost sounds like a joke of a number. You're looking at half-ish, a little more than half of the Big 12, the conference that's your closest competitor right now, the one that you're trying to beat in this whole deal, $20 million. What a joke that would be. Do you think that Colorado left this conference just for Oregon and Washington to go, I wish that was me. I'm going to sit here and take my $20 million lumps and go home? No, not how it works. Do I think that Washington and Oregon are locks to follow Colorado to the Big 12? No. They're on my wish list. They're the top 2 on my wish list, Washington and Oregon. Do I think it's going to happen? I don't know. They got a good shot at going to the Big 10, I think. I know what everybody's been saying. I know what I've been saying, that the Big 10's closed for business. And it might be for a little bit, but Oregon and Washington, that's where they want to be. It's the Big 10. Oh. And they're going to have to when $20 million is slapped in their face. And what's worse is heavy streaming. Heavy streaming and escalators is what Scheer said. The heavy streaming part, bad still, right? You're trying for the Apple thing. You're like, give me Apple. And what's going to blow up in your face is when Washington State plays Cal and no one watches the game and no one pays to see the game. I have a really good just inkling that it's going to fail, especially on an escalator. When, hey, George Kliavkoff sitting around the table, hey, we could get more money for these streaming deals the more viewers we get. Not a good thing. Not a good thing. Because the numbers are going to suck. No one's going to watch that product. No one's been turning on Pac-12 at dark, at night, whatever it was. It bombed because the quality in the conference was not good enough. The Big 12, you could make a similar case in some areas. The weird thing is the offense was good enough that people were still watching the Texas Tech versus TCU games like 5 years ago. Even as irrelevant as it kind of seemed across college athletics, people were still watching it because let's watch 70 points be scored. And so you had that aspect of the Big 12, but there's still some matchups. Kansas, West Virginia, nobody wants to watch that. Thank God Kansas, West Virginia is not streaming on Apple TV with an escalator that, the more viewers you get, the more you get paid. Great. I would love to make commissions in a town where there are no businesses to make sales to. If I have great commission, you get 50% commission. 50% commission. But also nobody's going to buy the product. Again, not how business works. I've been graduated from college for 2 months. And I didn't take a single business class, but I know it doesn't work like that. I know you can't set down your shareholders, the only people you have left, your presidents, and say, look what I did. Look what we waited so long for. Like I told you we would. It's $20 million. It's $20 million. And escalator, though, because it could be more. Which is, in effect, what Florida State was looking for was the escalator, in a sense. It's like, oh, yeah, we should have the ability to go up, which makes sense. When your product can go up, it can't in the Pac-12, man. It can't. There are like 3, maybe 4 games when ESPN and Fox, when they draft out these games with who's going to get this, who's going to get that, who wants this one. Without USC and UCLA, the Pac-12 has almost nothing that people want to watch. And I'm not saying the Big 12 is a crazy better product because you have the Kansas and West Virginia games. But man, the Big 12 is a lot more competitive top to bottom than the Pac-12. And the bigger part of this, the Big 12 is not going to Apple TV or the CW. The Big 12 has games on FS1. They do. They put some crappy games on FS1. And guess what? People don't really watch them. But that's just kind of the nature of this deal. The good thing is the bulk of the games, the big games in the Big 12, go on ESPN or Fox. That's good. Where do the good games in the Pac-12 go? They die. Nobody's watching them because there's nowhere good to watch them, and still nobody's paying for it. This whole Pac-12 TV deal, it's just ensuring. It's ensuring that Washington and Oregon leave, that Arizona State, that Utah, they try to jump ship. Like, somebody's going to have to force Utah to go to the Big 12, it seems, and leave it to George Kliavkoff to do it. That's where we're headed. Who are the top 5 teams outside of that little Pac-12 bubble pod that are going to the Big 12? Boy, I like this 5. On Locked On Baylor, part of the Locked On Podcast Network.